Sorry about the incomplete erasure. This is kind of interesting working with a wet blackboard like I've been doing, but I think you can read it, and I'll tell you. 139th day. I've only got 40 more days left after today, the second video. Some mistakes I made. When I referred to Beatrice in the last video, she was not in The Merchant of Venice or A Merchant of Venice. She was in Much Ado About Nothing. And at the moment I can't, there's a third example of that very smart female character that I just can't think of right now. Maybe I will. But anyway, and the other thing to say about A Merchant of Venice is the pound of flesh, it was going to be Antonio's heart. Shylock was going to take that knife and cut his heart out. It wasn't just, you know, chop his hand off and see if it weighed a pound or something like that. He wanted to murder Antonio. All right, on we go. I'll be brief, I think, about this. You know, I've got probably half a dozen more Shakespearean plays that I want to tell you something about, and I'm trying to decide, well, what order should I do this in? Well, Othello. Othello is not, it's not one of his most famous plays. It's a good play. It's a very good play. What's maybe most remarkable about this is that the main character is a black man. He's a Moor. And in Shakespeare's day, that was usually thought to be a black man. In Romeo and Juliet, he says that she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Well, an Ethiop was a black man, and a Moor was too. In Titus Andronicus, the black man, I think he's a Moor. I think his name is Aaron. He's really evil. But this black man, you know, remember this is, what is it, 500 years ago? 400 years ago that he wrote this? He's the hero in a sense, but he has a fatal flaw. Othello is a brilliant, wonderful general in a Venetian army. He's a king of Corsica or something, or I think Corsica. And he's married to a woman named Desdemona. I'm not so sure if I have that spelled right. Desdemona. Well, Desdemona is a white woman. There are subplots. In all of Shakespeare's plays, there are subplots. It would just be too tedious if I tried to tell you the whole story. Plus, you'd get confused. Her father did not want Othello to marry her, but she was so in love with him. And anyway, they married. Well, Iago is probably, arguably, the main character. And Kenneth Branagh, he played the part of Iago. Iago wants to get even with Othello. Now, this play is about marital infidelity or distrust. When a man does not trust that his wife has been faithful. And Iago believes that Othello had sex with his wife. As it says in the play, they made the beast with two backs. Think about that, the beast with two backs. And Iago believes that. Probably true. I don't know in the play if it's clear, but he wants to get him back. And what he ends up doing, I mean, he really comes out as a bad guy, but with some reason. What he does is he convinces Othello that his wife, Desdemona, has been untrue to him, which is not the case. She's been as true as could be. But he plants the seed of doubt. And see, the fatal flaw, and that's a fatal flaw, that's a term sometimes used with tragic characters. In Othello, is that he does not trust his wife. At first all Iago has to do is get the thought there. But then he kind of clinches it by a handkerchief. This is a critical prop. A handkerchief that Othello had given to Desdemona. as a wedding present or something, a very special handkerchief. Well, Iago gets his wife, who's devoted to Iago, and who dies in the end. In the end, she's dead, Iago's dead, Desdemona's dead, Othello's dead. A guy that was in love with Desdemona, other than her husband, he's dead. But anyway, she agreed. She's a servant to Desdemona, and she steals the handkerchief and gives it to Iago because Iago wants it. Well, what Iago does then is he plants it in among the equipment of the soldier. I think his name is Cassio. That Iago wants Othello to believe has had an affair with Desdemona, and when Othello sees that, he then falls for this trick. He ends up killing his wife, but then finding out that she was innocent, and then he kills himself. And how Iago is killed or dies, and how his wife dies, and Cassio dies, you'll have to see it. Or read it. Branagh, there's that name once again. In 1995, he didn't direct this, but he starred as Iago. And it is very good. It is a very good play. It was adapted into a teen movie named O. I don't recommend it. I did not like that. O is the star of a basketball team, and his girlfriend is a white girl named Desi. There's something about seeing teenagers go through this tragedy that it didn't work for me. I didn't like it much. But I should tell you that there is that adaptation. All right, this is Friday. See you on Monday.